Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now, first story comes from a deleted user who says, am I the arsehole for breaking up with my boyfriend after he set me up for a loyalty test? I, 25 female, been dating my boyfriend, 28 male, for a year now. Our relationship has been amazing until one day he decided to put me through a loyalty test for a YouTube video. The entire test felt completely real. The entire time I didn't flirt and made it clear I had a boyfriend, despite the decoy's multiple advances. Then all of a sudden the whole crew came out. My boyfriend in particular was smiling and happy when the YouTuber told me that this was a loyalty test and that I had passed. I sat there confused and stayed silent. When my boyfriend tried to hug me, I pushed him away and walked off. I was completely shocked and humiliated. I knew this was going to be on YouTube, so I didn't want to react the way they probably wanted me to, yelling, crying, and making a scene. I simply said, the relationship ended the minute you decided to put me on a loyalty test. My boyfriend tried to stop me, saying I was being dramatic and that I had no reason to be mad since I had passed. That's just made me angrier, and all I wanted to do was go home. The next day he called me wanting to talk in private, which I agreed to. However, he already told his friends, our mutual friends and my own family, about the situation. During our conversation, he would call them or pull up their text messages so they could back him up. They all said I was overreacting and I should be happy because now that he knows I would never cheat, we can finally settle down and be together. Yes, I love him and have considered that in the future, but I felt completely invalidated. In my opinion, loyalty tests are a lose-lose. Either you cheat or you don't, but either way it proves that your partner doesn't trust you. I was completely confused because I thought I'd given him zero reason to doubt me. So when I asked him why he did this, he admitted that it was only because his ex had cheated on him multiple times in the past with her co-workers. This meant he had lied because he had told me their breakup was mutual and drama-free. Also, I never realized he had trust issues because I'm such a homebody and work from home. Now that I recently got a new job and was leaving the house more and meeting new people, it put me in the same situations and settings his ex had been in. At the end of our conversation, he asked if we were breaking up and I told him I needed space. That was 2 days ago and I'm still being bombarded with people saying I'm being irrational for being mad about this. The only thing he has said in those 2 days was that because I passed, I shouldn't even worry about the video coming out since they only post the fails, as if that was my concern. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I need some outside opinions because everyone around me is making me feel like I'm crazy for being upset. So, am I the arsehole for breaking up with my boyfriend over this? A loyalty test by itself would completely kill a relationship for me anyway, but doing it publicly for a YouTube video makes it so much worse for me. But she was basically tricked into performing some test he never agreed to because of something his ex did years ago. And what really gets me though is what happened afterwards. Instead of recognizing that she felt humiliated, he's recruited his friends and her family to convince her that she was overreacting, saying stuff like, you passed, which fucking completely misses the point. She trusted him and he was the one who failed the loyalty test in this. The commenter says, not the arsehole, your boyfriend went behind your back in a way that left you feeling deceived, used and humiliated. These are the actions of an ex, so I'd recommend you just block him now. Any friends saying you're overreacting are his friends, not yours, and your family need to learn what respect is. Opie says, honestly, needed that. The worst part is that he is extremely close with my family. So even though we have only dated for 1 year, I've known him for so long. My mum especially has taken his side, so blocking him just isn't enough apparently. Echo says, 1. If he actually puts this on YouTube, for God's sake never see him again and contact YouTube to get it taken down. 2. I bet $1,000 that his ex never cheated on him. Opie says at this point, I'm definitely not going to be with him. 1. I found out that even if it was going on YouTube, there's nothing I can do since it's one of those blurred face moments. 2. Never even thought about that because it took 3 tries asking him why he tested me until we finally caved in. But still, he most definitely could have been lying. Commenter says, not the arsehole. He didn't just loyalty test you, he arranged a whole production to humiliate you for views. That is a massive violation of privacy and respect. Not only that, but he is weaponizing friends and family to harass you about this. He's trying to make you feel like the bad guy for having boundaries, and that their opinions matter more than yours does. What happens when the two of you have a real disagreement? Is he going to poll the internet then too? He has done so much instead of just having a conversation with you. At every turn, he chose drama and deception over communication. Lurker the Pip says, "You're under no obligation to entertain him or the YouTube public with your life. This was a test of his character, not yours, and he failed miserably. He was disrespectful in like 5 different ways. He broke your trust. Dump him and don't look back. You deserve someone who doesn't treat your relationship like a prank show." A commenter asks, why are his family and friends so involved in the relationship? Opie says, "I know this is not an excuse as to why they're so involved, but for context, our families are extremely close together. Our parents are best friends and have always wanted us to get together. So now that we're together, they think it's irrational for me to just end it since we're perfect for each other." So Opie comes in with an update and says, "I took a lot of your suggestions, including showing my friends and family the Reddit post I made. Most of them backtracked once they saw the full context of what happened. His brother told me he wanted to talk because there was something he needed to get off his chest. He admitted that my ex had been planning this for a while, not just for the video. Last night we spoke and she, his ex-girlfriend, told me she had heard about what happened through a mutual friend. She reached out to tell me her side of their breakup. The relationship ended because she found out he was the one who cheated multiple times with multiple women. When she confronted him, he tried to flip the script on her. She also revealed that during their relationship he recorded a lot of their conversations and lied about where he worked, including his actual salary and position. When she got caught looking at his phone, he completely flipped. He broke up with her on the spot, claiming she didn't trust him, even though he was the one being unfaithful. This morning, she still went ahead and told him everything I'd said and what I found out. He started blowing up my phone with explanation texts. After an hour, he apologized, admitted he was sorry, and that he was only projecting his past traumas onto me. I didn't buy it and blocked him. You would think that after all of this, people would see my side, but some of his friends are still messaging me saying I ruined his career by not letting him post the video. Thanks to everyone who gave their opinion. It was incredibly eye-opening, and I'm glad I'm moving on from this mess. I'm officially single and staying that way for a while." Bloody hell, but I'm just going to turn this one straight to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from our very own subreddit, r/Mark Narrations, from Aquarius 7072025, and says, "Am I the arsehole for telling my friend that she's just mad her man is too broke for her to be a gold digger? So I, 29 male, found out from my husband, 32 male, that my friend K, 29 female, believes I am a gold digger. I have a bad habit of letting jokes just be jokes. A little backstory. K has been my friend for a year and a half. My husband and I work in a hospital, but I wasn't always working in one. I had a different job from healthcare. I went to school where I met K. I started talking to K because she didn't have a car at the time, and I invited her for lunch. When I started school, I had to leave my full-time job because I wanted to take the risk of going into healthcare. Kay had an on and off boyfriend. When going to school with her once in a while, she would ask me how it is being in a relationship with another man. Simple basic questions like how many chores I do, how much of the bills I pay, and other questions like that. At the time, I barely met Kay, so I would say basic 50-50. I was lying, but being a 1-week friendship, she didn't need to know all that information. I drove my husband's car, which is considered a luxury car. I never really cared about cars, so I know very little about them. Kay was obsessed with the car. In school, I had 2 other friends I met, but they were completely different from Kay. One more thing is that the class I took, I was the only male for most of the 11-month program. One part of the class was that we had to practice EKGs on each other, and the whole class truly believed I was straight, so you know how that would go. I would also egg on my haters in that class. Nothing too crazy, but everyone thought I was stupid rich, and I would go along with it because I truly didn't care what they thought about me. One day, Kay asked me if I was stupid rich, and I told her no. But some people already made rumors about me before I had ever said anything to them. Honestly, I have no idea where these rumors started, but it was fun going along with them. Time passed, and one day I told Kay that I didn't even have a job. Kay was shocked. She asked me why I had no job. I told her that I left my hometown to be with my husband. I left everything for him, but I've always been applying for work. When they found out I was going to school we decided to go another route. Kay made a comment about me just being taken care of by my husband. I told her I obviously have money saved. She did make a comment about it just being a gay thing. I didn't really care at the moment and didn't think too much about it. As the friendship continued, Kay told me that she wrecked her car because she and her boyfriend got in a fight about him putting his family first. Kay is Filipina and her boyfriend is Mexican, if that changes anything. Kay also wanted to be an influencer. Kay's boyfriend worked for Tesla, and he would get mad that she struggled to keep her job. Kay finished school, got a job at a nice hospital, getting paid pretty well. She loved it. My husband and I needed a house sitter for our trip we planned. I asked Kay, and she was excited to house sit. We offered to pay her, but she said no because she needed time away from her parents. She lives rent-free at her parents' place. When we gave her a tour of the place, she told my husband that we are living poor. My husband didn't tell me until we got back from our trip. I just thought Kay was mad because of the breakup. Time passes and I invited all my school friends for a dinner hangout. We went to a Korean barbecue and ate so much. We all paid except Kay. Then Kay wanted to try a dessert place and we went. I had to use the bathroom, left Kay, my husband, and Jay, another school friend, to join us. Kay asked my husband about what I bring to him. He obviously got mad, but didn't want to kill the mood, talking about how Kay feels that I'm just taking advantage of him. I never told Kay I got a hospital job in the middle of school. She believed that I hadn't been working this entire time. Jay told Kay, why does she care so much about what I do in life? I found out all of this when I dropped them off, and Jay sent me a text, and my husband told me everything. I slowly stopped talking to Kay. I bumped into Kay and her twin at the mall when I was birthday shopping for my husband and Jay. Kay made a comment on where's her birthday gift and Christmas gift. I told her I didn't get her one because she started flaking on our friendship. I just made it seem like we grew apart. Kay made the comment, oh, did you make your husband broke already? I got annoyed but chose to ignore it. Kay's twin made a shocked face at her. Kay kept going on and on and on, and then I got tired and I said, Kay, I understand that you're clearly jealous of me and my life. You live in your parents' house that is worth $800K. You pay no rent and you got fired from your hospital job. It's not my fault that your man puts all of his money into his family and is too broke to support your lazy gold-digging ass. Instead of judging me, ask yourself how you got fired 2 weeks into your high-paying job. I felt bad after that, but I realized she was never a friend. All Kay wanted was for people to take care of her. I'd let her borrow money she never paid back. Well, that is a $900 lesson I had to learn. Kay called me an asshole that day, but she left crying and making a scene to the point her twin ditched her and she had to be escorted out by security. As she was leaving, she slapped a lady's drink from her hand, and that's why Kay was escorted out. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Empty Roses says to this one, not the arsehole, she deserves more than you calling her out like that. The fact that her own twin ditched her shows she agreed with you. As you said, she was never your friend, just a user who judged people by her own standards. Hope her guy drops her soon. Opie responded saying I had a deep conversation with my husband about her. I'm getting ready to send her a text about cutting her off from my life. I do feel bad about it, but I gave her way too many chances. Commenter says, why do you need an enemy with a friend like that? She sounds like an exhausting, self-centered girl. Kind of feel sorry she views people around her with price tags or how she can use them. My advice is to continue to live your life and let her be somebody you used to know. No need for any explanations. It's not like she deserves it. Block and keep going. Good luck, OP. Another commenter says, not the arsehole, but you all sound very immature. Had to keep checking your ages. Kay, for obvious reasons, you for ignoring blatant signals that she wasn't a friend, being passive aggressive and not just cutting her off. OP responded saying, yeah, I can be naive. I grew up with toxic siblings and cousins, so when I see people aren't toxic as them, I tend to believe they're a nice person. I mean, OP already knows this, but they gave them way too many chances, way more than I would have anyway. This wasn't like one badly worded joke or anything like that. She was repeatedly questioning his own contribution to his marriage, insulted their home, made comments about his husband's money, borrowed, or should we say stole, $900 that she's never going to repay, and had the bloody cheek to feel comfortable enough to interrogate OP's husband about whether OP was taking advantage of him. You know, at some point, it's just pure disrespect, and that's all it was. And if someone's going to come at you with, did you make your husband broke already nonsense, I ain't got much sympathy for you clapping back at that. But OP did update the post and says, hey guys, I wanted to give you guys an update. Kay saw the post and she was pissed. I ended up blocking her and just saw no reason to message her. Honestly, I was just going to let it be. There was nothing to save. I was just living my best life with my husband. Hope everyone had a wonderful and safe 4th of July. Well, to get to my point, on that day after work, went to a local Mexican store for a couple of bits. I happened to bump into Kay's boyfriend. I'll call him Noe? 30 male. I do apologize about that pronunciation. This is my first time seeing Noe. He saw the post because Kay sent it to him, and he told me that he was mad about it. Not because I posted it, but because Noe and Kay had been broken up since they were 25. I asked him then, why does Kay have a habit of saying they were going out or going on breaks? Noe said they are just friends, and she had a habit of pulling the "I'm going to harm myself if you leave" card. She never does it in text or voicemails, and when she totaled her car because of an argument, he got scared. From my understanding, Noe is exhausted with Kay and just waiting for her to slip up so he can report her to get help. I asked Noe if he had tried getting Kay help before. Noe said he tried, but it's usually his word against hers, and she is good at hiding it in front of people. Noe just said the more he gives in, the worse she gets, so he just tends to let her cry about things. He did tell me that my post was hilarious, and it sounded like Kay's basic behavior. My nosy part was curious, and I asked him if he happened to know how Kay got fired from her job, since I only heard rumors. Noe told me that she looked at his medical chart and the system flagged it, and they were required to inform him. He said he can't really get much into it. I was surprised and commented, "That's what school teaches you not to do," but I'm assuming Kay thought she wouldn't get caught. I asked him if Kay would try to do anything to me. Noe said probably not, because Kay has commented where I live. They have way too many cameras. Creepy, but relaxing to know that she told Noe that. I wished Noe the best and thanked him for our small chat. Later that day, I texted my best friend Jay about it, and she was shocked, mostly because she bumped into Kay a couple of weeks ago, and Kay asked her if she could help her get a job where she works. Jay told me she just ignored her question. From my understanding, the whole class friend group stopped talking to Kay. She had a bad habit of asking for money and would pay some back and others nothing. I don't think I'll bump into Kay. She lives in the town next to mine, so chances are low, but never zero. Kay, if you're reading this, then I guess it was fun while the friendship lasted. I don't know if Noe is lying or telling the truth, but if he is, I do hope that you get the help you need. Thank you guys for reading this far. I just wanted to give the people who wanted an update. I just wish you guys the best, and hopefully this will be the last update I need to give. And I gotta say, I feel exactly as the top commenter on this one. My wife Rock says, Kay sounds exhausting. The "too many cameras" comment doesn't fill me with closure the same as you. She sounds like she could become unhinged. Opie replied saying, I see your point. Where I live, there is security there 24/7. You need a key to access the building, then another key to access the elevators. Security is aware that she is not allowed, and the manager has told me that they will call the cops if she shows up. My husband did let me know because he does not want to risk it. I really do hope that OP stays safe in this situation, because like my wife Rock says, the "too many cameras" comment was just worrying. It almost said like, if there wasn't cameras, I probably would try something. So when you're out of range of these cameras, is she willing to try something? And that's not me trying to worry OP or anything like that, but the comment is weird. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story is titled, Am I the Arsehole Here for Baiting My Sister-in-Law's Boyfriend? To introduce the main story, let me explain why I did what I did first. I 34 male and my wife 34 female. Invited over for dinner, my wife's sister-in-law, female 29, and her new boyfriend, male 23, which she's been with for 3 months. Prior to the dinner, I had to go grocery shopping and left around 100 euros in my car. I took out 250 for the groceries, but ended up only using 150. When sister-in-law came home, she asked for my car key to get her boyfriend from the train station. No problem. Dinner was good. Feeling this is a good guy, etc. Next morning, I want to go service one of my watches. I go to the shop and can only find 30 euros in my car. When I go home, I tell my wife, and she says I probably use more for groceries, but I have both receipts from bank and groceries and it didn't match. She tells me I had surely lost some cash at the grocery store. I don't buy that. Due yesterday, we went on vacation at the family house near the beach. We invite sister-in-law and boyfriend for the week. Already paid for everything. Groceries for the week is done. I bought enough wine for more than we can drink, and even gave sister-in-law my company vacation check she used to pay tool fare. They came with her car. The only thing they had to pay for is gas. Now the part I might be the arsehole. Wife and sister-in-law head for the beach, and boyfriend and I would go play a bit of tennis. I set up my work computer in front of my wallet, which I openly left with some visible cash, with the camera and Teams activated, and switched screen to some BS Excel worksheet. I tell him I have to go to the bathroom for a few minutes before going. When I come back, I see the first glance my wallet has moved a little bit. I say nothing and we go. When everyone is in bed the same day, I watch the recording and see him took out €60 in cash from my wallet. Same night, I tell my wife again that cash is missing, and the only same things in the two scenarios is the new boyfriend. She tells me to kick rocks, and I'm the arsehole for even thinking he will do that. So 2 questions here. Am I the arsehole for baiting him to steal from me? And would I be the arsehole here if I bust him out with the recording? My wife doesn't know I filmed it yet. Is it a good idea to tell her, or would I bury myself here? Commenter says you're the arsehole for not confronting him. Bury yourself how? That guy stole from you twice. Go do something about it. You don't need permission to confront him. Let him get away with it twice, and worrying about your wife's reaction to you calling him out is a bigger issue. Opie says it's a bit more complicated. Sister-in-law comes from an abusive relationship where she had a child 2 years ago, and we helped her get on her feet 1 year ago and leave him. It's her first relationship since the deadbeat, and I don't want to be the one who crushes that. Commenter replies saying it's not complicated at all, and none of that is relevant. I take this at face value. You think encouraging a former victim to stay with someone who steals from her family is a better alternative? Opie says no, I'm not. That's why I'm kind of seeking advice here from strangers, because I can't ask someone I know and trust for now. I do know I can't leave it like that, so I try to fish here for good advice, and honestly some people here give 5 stars advice I'll use tonight when speaking to my wife. Commenter says, do you think your wife will be pissed at you for setting him up? But the first incident should have made you both wary. You can't have this person in your home if he steals. You needed to know, so does her sister. Opie says my wife is rational. She's a psychotherapist. I'm confident she'll understand why I did that if I was sure for the cash missing after the grocery shopping, and she'd be mad for sure for the setup and the timing I used to bait him. Commenter says not the arsehole. He's probably already stealing from your sister-in-law too, and her friends or parents if he's allowed in their homes. You have to tell her to protect her and the people around her. Opie says I don't think he already had the opportunity to do so since we're the first who met him. And for my sister-in-law, we do punctual transfers on her account when she asks for no big sums, sometimes groceries. She's a good person for sure, just in a tight spot. But you're right, the truth has to be told. A commenter says not the arsehole, and you didn't bait him. He made a choice, and he's a thief. Don't be silent, that will enable him. Opie says I already told my wife twice what I thought he did, but now I have receipts. I'm not sure I'm the one who has to inform my sister-in-law. Commenter says I'd show your wife the video, then let her absorb it, and show it to her sister, 100%. Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. Opie suspected the boyfriend had stolen from him once, created a situation where he could confirm or disprove it, and unfortunately got his answer. This guy is the one who decided to steal. He's the scumbag in this situation, not you. You're not stealing, you're just proving that he is the one stealing from you. And I initially get Opie's a little bit hesitant because of what sister-in-law has been through, thinking of the possibilities, etc. But that actually makes telling her more important. She deserves to know that the first man she's dated after her abusive relationship is apparently comfortable stealing from her family after they've invited him on holiday and paid for basically everything. And in the end, the boyfriend is the one that's ruining this relationship, not OP for exposing what a scumbag he is. So OP came back in to update the post and says this has been a rough day. I had a conversation with my wife yesterday night where I said again, there's cash missing in my wallet. We have been together since before high school, and she knows when I hide something and straight up asked me what I didn't tell her. I told her about the recording and her reaction was not anger as I feared. She just asked me to see it. After watching it, we spoke about what to do next to peacefully approach her sister. This is where I used a lot of your good advice. We decided that she'd be the one telling her one-to-one today at the spa, and I'll be having a one-to-one conversation with the boyfriend. So today, the girls go to the spa at 10 AM, and I took the boyfriend for a ride telling him we'd do a surprise to the girls. But I drove right in front of the police station and told him me and my wife know about the stealing, and that he has 10 seconds to explain himself or I go to the police. He just started crying, told me he lost his father just after the start of their relationship, and the funeral put him in debt. I lost my father at a young age, and somehow related because I saw the same scenario with my mother, but she didn't steal from anyone as far as I know. We had a deep conversation where I basically scolded him and told him trust is forever broken on our side. I drove him home and told him to wait till the girls come back from the spa to tell the truth himself. He then wired me 130 euros and again excused himself. That didn't happen like I was thinking. My wife and sister-in-law came back at 1 PM. Sister-in-law was bright red when entering the house. She goes right in the room, took all his belongings, threw them and him on the street and told him to go fuck himself. Asked my wife what happened in the spa, and she waited after their massage to tell the whole story. Turns out some of you in the comments were right. Already 2 of her friends told her things got missing after meeting with him. They chatted for a bit and she decided to break things with him. Then my wife told her I did a recording of him stealing the second time and she got a burst of anger towards him. They are now at 1 bottle of wine each, looking at the recording and laughing hard. Boyfriend tried to call her multiple times already and sent a lot of texts asking for a meeting to explain and that he is stranded in the street, but they just laugh and drink. Lol. Thanks to all the commenters who gave good advice. Used a lot of them to chat with my wife yesterday. There was a slight worry in me that when he was giving his sob story it was all going to turn around and they were going to forgive this thieving turd, but I'm so glad that wasn't the case because there is no excuse from stealing from friends and family who've done everything they can for you, taken you on holiday and you're not having to pay anything, etc. But I did enjoy that OP drove him to the police station, bloody hell. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. Truly, it is absolutely amazing. I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.